Greetings, welcome to Limitless Alchemy 808. I'm Patience. Just wanted to come on today and talk about destiny swapping because it happens a lot in very close personal relationships, whether they start out as familial or friendly. Those are the two instances that are coming to my heart right now, because those are the people that those are the beings that have the most access to you. So we incarnate to forget what we are and why we're here, so that we can work to remember. And everyone incarnates on different timelines. So obviously your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, they're gonna incarnate before you. And please keep in mind, these are all parts of the soul contracts that we created with each other in the 5D before coming back to experience the 3D. And the experience with, and it just goes back to old thought forms, old earth modalities, the 3D needing to siphon energy to remain and thrive, or survive, I should say, because the 3D is about survival. I mean, we utilize money to keep us off the food chain, to keep us at the top, or food web, keep us at the top of the food web, whereas other beings, they're either food or they're getting food. And and that's just something that's been coming up for me. They don't want me to speak about this. The ones who attempted to destiny swap with me, it's been clearing my throat chakra, because my past few videos, actually, I haven't been clearing my throat. I've been clearing my throat chakra and utilizing Reiki and just giving myself permission to speak clearly, confidently, and concisely. But this matter, the energies around me, they don't want me to say anything. They don't want me to out them. And that's understandable. But I'm going to persist, because I know that by you watching this video, it will help you to recognize and transmute the relationships around you that work to steal your energy, work to siphon your energy, work to be you. And it's flattering. I mean, we can take joy in knowing that we inspire others, that we activate others. That's why I'm here, to activate and inspire. And, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And literally, no one's really original. I mean, it's all been said, it's all been done. But then again, you make it your own, and that makes it original. But going back to, the topic at hand, you incarnate, and those who have incarnated before you, they recognize something within you, the aspects about you that they themselves are lacking and want to embody, but don't give themselves permission to. And these can be beings who are aware, who come to an awareness of the projection, but may not be fully conscious. But they feel as though they're just basically stuck in the density where they feel that this is all they have. And that's just lack, that's just scarcity mindset. Not being able to see the bigger picture, just kind of having a finite scope of the experience. And also just pleasure seeking. Yes, have fun. We're all here to have fun. But if you're just constantly chasing pleasure, that can too much of a good thing can be bad for you. Moderation, discernment, those all come into play. And you are very discerning, you are very balanced, and you are very, you know, time and place for everything. Like, you read the air, you read people, you read the whole situation, and you know how to respond. You know how to react, if to react at all, if to respond at all. You're just so cool. But and that is why people want a destiny swap with you. People want your life. They want what you have without realizing what you did to get there. And they may realize it, but they themselves are not willing to do the same thing, but they just want the same results. But now that you're aware, now that you're fully conscious of the projection, and you know that home is within you, you can never leave home, and you've never left the center. We're all connected, all together at the center. And we're just experiencing each of our streams of consciousness that are butt up against the next being's stream of consciousness. And that's how we coexist with each other. And so, having this wherewithal, you effectively sidestepped those that want your life, that want to be you without doing what you've done, without becoming what you've become. And it's really disappointing when someone as close to you as, you know, your grandparent or your parent works to sabotage you in order to claim your energy, to utilize your energy in order to fortify themselves. But anything that's for you is yours now and will never pass you by. Even if you perceived it to not be in your field, it's always gonna come back to you, no matter what. because what is for you exists in the 5D. It is with you. You have it in the 5D. And it's just tuning into the stream where it exists in the 3D in the same moment as you. And just to relate personally, because I am a mirror of you. My grandmother, well, my birth person's mother, she wanted to claim my energy. She wanted to destiny swap with me. She's the only person I know that had a Ouija board in her closet with all the games, and she never told us about it. She never said, hey, it could have been a adult party game, but like, she never told us she had it. I remember finding it at about 10 years old with my cousins, and we broke it out and we were playing with it. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe something followed my cousins, unfortunately. I disclaim any attachments and sever all karmic ties, but that don't serve me. So I do that also for whoever was there in that moment with me. But then I remember finding that at 10 years old, and I was just like, what is this? Like, and then I seen scary movies, involving Ouija board after that, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And just kind of like went along. And when I had my eldest son, and I was at my ex's, I was at home, she had come over to visit with my eldest aunt, and my birth person was there too and everything. We were just having like a get together, and I was in the house with my son, and at one point I remember my ex coming up to me and saying, do you know what your grandmother just told me right now? And they had been outside. It was my grandmother, my aunt, and my ex. They're outside in the backyard, and it was nighttime. And I was like, no, what did she tell you? And he's like, she told me that she reads tarot and that she's a great and powerful witch or magician or something like that. Something to do with your manifestation and everything. So, and then he said that my aunt was just earnestly like, like confirming what she was saying. And I was just like, she told you that? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's the first that I'm hearing about these kind of things, and she never told me herself. And then, fast forward 16 years, and tarot starts coming into my field. I address the iniquities that were allowed to happen to me during childhood. And, I know that I agreed upon this experience so that I can connect with all of you who have been through similar or same situations. Because one of the downloads I forgot to mention when I was venturing with the mushrooms, they told me that speculation is just a form of narcissism, because if you're speaking on situations, things that you have no idea, no clue, no experience with, then you're just basically talking out of your ass. So I am grateful for my higher self in making these agreements and then allowing only certain pieces to filter through so that I would get those nudges, I would get those intuitive gleans to address those experiences in order to propel my growth and my destiny to me. So, you know, and I am magnetic, I am magical, I am mystical, I am a great and powerful manifester, and so are you. Because I know that I am God, but I know that you also are too. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that we're all on the same playing field, that we all have the same opportunities as long as we give ourselves permission to obtain those opportunities. Allow those opportunities to flow to us. But that was just, and that was just, I remember her husband, my abuser, something that my birth person would always brag about was how when he would get blood pressure tests and just meditate and zone out, or he'd do like physicals and meditate and zone out, and everything would be perfect. This dude had a heart attack at when I was 9 years old, and continued to smoke Marlboro Reds up until this day, but he's in hospice. So I feel that has a lot to do with me pulling back my energy from all those who don't serve me, from all those who just want to siphon my light, my aura for themselves, because theirs is so waning, theirs is so dimmed. So I mean, that timeline's done. That timeline's outdated, over, gone. But I'm relaying this experience to connect with you and aid, activate, and inspire you to transmute that past, that old timeline, and step forward into your new, highest preferred timeline without any emotional baggage, without any emotional burdens that may still be lingering for you, that aren't yours to carry at all. Another way that someone else tried to destiny swap with me was a friend that I had, and I knew her from my ex's cousin. She was with my ex's cousin, and they ended up having a son together who's 2 months younger than my eldest. Basically, when they found out I was pregnant, she got pregnant. So I was like, okay, well, all right. And then it didn't work out with them, and they broke up, and you know, she moved away, and we wouldn't see her son all the time, but we'd see him randomly. And then I always felt real bad because I knew that my son loved being around him and he loved being around my son, but it was very hard for them to be together because of all the differences that the adults were having. So it was affecting the kids. And when I left my ex in 2020, I reached back out to her and I was like, hey, you know, I left my ex, and I really want to have a relationship with my nephew, and my nephew by marriage, and I want him and his cousin to have a relationship. And she was like, yeah, I'm open to that and everything. And so we started hanging out. We started going places, going to the beach, going here, going there. It was a lot of fun. And then, but a lot of times, every time we would hang out, she would always find some way to compare herself to me or talk about how much she wished she had my life and that I had such a perfect life and what she would give to be me. And I just took it as compliment, but also took it as activation to inspire her and say, hey, you know, well, if you want a desk job and you want this and you, I mean, she has a beautiful apartment. I mean, her apartment's super nice. I wouldn't mind having that apartment, but, and she always has a brand new car. So I'm like, cause she likes to lease, and I'm just like, I couldn't make the connection between how different my life was to her, because yes, while her employment wasn't as stable as mine, that don't matter. But you know, in that moment, in that thought form, in that modality, even though her income wasn't as stable as mine, she still had plenty of money. She still had so much money. And she had a lot of money coming to her too, which I believe she already got. But I couldn't see what she was seeing, because in reality she really just wanted my energy. She really just wanted to be me. And it got to the point where she started being really abusive, verbally, especially. The last time we hung out was on 420 of, what was that year? 2022? 420 of 2022. We were at Yamava. She had a room, and I had gone over there after the day job, driven through like 2 hours of traffic just to go out there and hang out with her. And I get there, I change, fresh my makeup up, and put some black lipstick on, and she was like, you're wearing black lipstick? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I want some too. And I was like, but what you're wearing, it doesn't, like, it just didn't go. Like, if she put black lipstick on, it just would have looked ridiculous. Like, it would have looked so out of place with what she was wearing. And I mean, the clothes don't make the person makes the clothes. But you could just look at somebody and be like, did you get dressed in the dark? Like, okay, whatever. But I told her, I was like, no. And not long before that, we had hung out at the beach in Newport. And she had been shrooming all day with this guy that she hangs out with sometimes. And when I finally met up with them, they gave me the rest of the mushroom chocolate that they had, and there were 3 squares. So I just took one because I knew I was gonna be driving. So I just took one, and he left, and she was all upset because he didn't say bye to her. But he said, well, they had just said bye to each other. Like, they were outside macking on each other and like doing whatever out there. And then they come in and they both go to the bathrooms, and she was in there longer. He comes out, he gave me like a little side hug and said goodbye, and he came out, and she comes out and she's like, well, where is he? I was like, oh, he said bye to me and then he left. She's like, he said bye to you? He didn't wait for me? And I was like, I guess not. Did he know he was supposed to wait for you? And she was like, well, I didn't say anything, but he should know already. And I was like, well, I can't speak for him. I don't know. But, let's just forget about it. Let's just go for a walk. The chocolate was starting to kick in, and I was just like, let's go hang out on the beach for a little while and have some fun. So we left the bar, and we're walking around, and we were having fun. We're taking pictures and everything and being silly. And then we get to the shore, the coast, and I start just like finding all these really cool shells. I'm just picking them up. And she gets upset, and she's like, where's my shells? And I was like, I don't know. Are you looking for them? And she's like, well, no, you're supposed to be getting them for me and giving them to me. And I'm like, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to I go, you can have, if you want any of the shells that I have, you're more than welcome to have them. I don't care. And she's like, no, you need to be finding me shells. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And she got upset and socked me in the arm. And I turned and looked at her, and I was like, did you just sock me in the arm? And she was like, no. I was like, yes, you did. And she's like, well, I didn't hit you that hard. I was like, you want me to show you how hard you hit me right now? And she's like, no. I was like, okay, then you need to go over there, and you need to go find your own shit. So she had walked away, and then I gotten over it. I was just, hanging out, and then we decided to just go back to each of our homes. And then she was like, oh, come to the 420 thing, and I went, and then that happened, and I was just like, this is it. I'm over this. Like, it's way too toxic. It's way too codependent. It's way too, she was just constantly testing my friendship. And it's just like, if you have to test my friendship, then you don't really consider me a friend. And because I give what I get, I sometimes give more. But I'm working through that now. I'm not a people pleaser for anything anymore. But I'm super fun to be around. I'm super just I'm good time. I'm good time patience. Like, you're gonna have fun when you hang out with me, because that's what I love to do. I'm not about, yes, we all get down. Yes, we all get sad. Yes, we all get angry. Those are all valid aspects of the experience. But for the most part, it's gonna be an easygoing, fun time when you're hanging out with me. So it's just a matter of having the awareness and discernment of your surroundings, of who you're with, of the energy you're embodying, of the energies that others are embodying around you. But after that whole 420 thing, and she even told me, she was like, I was testing you and you failed, because I wouldn't give her my lipstick. And I was like, okay, well, you're testing me and I failed, then why should I be around? What do you want me around for? So the next morning I left, and basically just did not talk to her ever again. She texted me like the next day about something, and I didn't give her the response that she wanted, and she was like, well, I know, we're done. And I was like, cool. And I just left it at that. I didn't respond anymore, because what even is the point? You can't reason with an unconscious person. They're just too set in their ways. So you just leave them where they are and keep going. Keep calling your destiny to you, because it is yours. It belongs to you and no one else. And while our destinies may look similar, while our destiny, our paths converge, and it seems that we're heading the same way, really, it's all you. There's no one else. All you have is yourself. The void is beckoning. Don't be afraid of it. It loves you. So I'll see you in the next one. Stay soft, stay sweet, and stay pure. Love you.